This episode is going to be a lot more useful for you guys, and it will help you guys to discover some facts. So, without any delay, let's jump into it. When you see these things, when you guys see things like these, believe me, it is okay for now, but it is going to be even better in the upcoming future. Why I say so? First, let's actually listen to Judy Shelton and then we will break it down because within her 1.5 minute, there is a lot of arrows hidden. If you actually understand that, you will understand XRP is the new gold for the central banks.
At this point, or not on the table. What do you make of the pressure on the Federal Reserve to compete with these private currencies, right? So I'm sure people have been asking about cryptocurrencies all over the place, but will that be a force for good for at least imposing some competition or some incentive to compete on the Federal Reserve?
I definitely think allowing currency competition would be a very positive thing to do. And I must say I've been pleasantly surprised. During the transition, we were examining some of these issues. I was working on the Trump transition team assigned to the Treasury Department to advise on international financial issues. The advent of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, of course, have gotten a lot of attention, and people wondered what ultimately would be the response of governments, particularly the United States, where we issue the world's dominant reserve currency. At what point are they going to say we will restrict the use of these currencies? And the Federal Reserve weighed in on this and was surprisingly willing to accommodate fintech and the new advances, blockchain technology. They did not want to be intimidating to how this new approach to a payment system might evolve. And I think that's to their credit. So I suppose if it becomes a real threat, we could see whole debates over what should be allowed as legal tender. But I will say I found it very interesting in...
So the question came related to cryptocurrencies, and she stated that currency competition is positive, and the transition team of Treasury Department for International Financial Issues understood that the Fed is accommodating fintech. So that is a lot to actually understand, but let's say when we actually listen to this one again around 1.35 seconds here, she's actually kind of highlighting that itself. Now just for the sake, let's listen to that particular area.
We will restrict the use of these currencies, and the Federal Reserve weighed in on this and was surprisingly willing to accommodate fintech and the new advances, blockchain technology.
So at what point are they actually going to push the brakes for cryptos or actually restrict this? That was the direction. And then says Fed is open to fintechs, so central banks can actually restrict some select crypto or crypto accounts. And recently we actually saw that coming, right? And then it says they appreciated it as a new payment system, and at the end of this video she actually hints a new legal tender, a possibility or even debate for that. And she found it really interesting in that manner.
Be intimidating to how this new approach to a payment system might evolve, and I think that's to their credit. So I suppose if it becomes a real threat, we could see whole debates over what should be allowed as legal tender. But I will say I found it very interesting in...
Now, I hope you guys actually were focused enough, because the information following this will actually show you the importance of each hints or hidden arrows which she was actually pointing out. For that, we'll actually use the document from World Trade Organization itself, which actually shows you how important this is going to be. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, why should we actually listen and understand her words, Judy Shelton's words? Those who are from USA already understand why it is, right? For those who are from outside and don't know about her, the chances are she is going to be in the Fed, Central Bank of United States, soon. So if that happens, that's a lot to take. Now, at the same time, I'll actually take you guys into this document. Can blockchain revolutionize international trade? Now, when they use the term blockchain, do remember it's kind of the common word being used as of now. Even if it is a distributed ledger technology, there are differences between blockchain and that. Now, in the document also, they actually separated blockchain and distributed ledger technology. But commonly, those who are from outside just uses it in that way because they are not so much, widened with the knowledge levels in the technical side of this aspect or this new technology. So, and along with that, this information from the World Trade Organization has really something for us, combining whatever hidden arrows were pointed in this one, right? So now, first, if we check for Ripple in this document, we have 20 of them, but it's not like we have to go through all of them. We'll first jump into the page number 24 of this document, and here we can actually see that they are differentiating it between blockchain versus a distributed ledger technology. And it's kind of a new thing here, and Ripple is coming up with a distributed ledger technology. And why it is so important to understand, because as we move through this document ahead, we can actually see something like this: the growing non-bank offer. The non-bank offer is diverse and falls into three main categories. The first category includes companies that offer possibility to process cryptocurrency payments. So here she actually talked about a new payment system, and new currency competition, and then pointed out whether the central banks can actually restrict these, right? So she was actually talking about cryptocurrencies and directly said that Fed is accommodating fintechs. So how many fintechs do you actually know which works with central banks and which gives cryptocurrencies, or at least offer cryptocurrency? For me, as far as I know, it's Ripple, the company providing XLM, and then Stellar providing, Stellar is not working with much of a central banks, but they were actually mentioned in some of the governmental documents, so you can't actually neglect them too completely. So in that aspects, fintechs and cryptocurrencies, if someone combine that, you can directly say, yeah, it's XRP. I can easily understand that. Now, they talk about different countries and how it is evolving, and here Abra and Ripple in the United States. So they actually understand that this is here to stay and it's not going anywhere. So now when we jump into the page number 66, you can actually see what is showing here, the correspondent banking model. Now whenever we go, we actually understand this is being highlighted, right? And then in this one, it directly states this: the low efficiency of the current system has led startups such as Ripple to develop alternatives based on blockchain. Ripple is trying to transform payments, which they see as slow, limited in transparency, and expensive, through its blockchain based value exchange platform. Keep that in mind. They are not talking only about information exchange, it's value exchange. If you want to exchange value in RippleNet, what do you need? The native currency, that's XRP. The Ripple platform allows financial institutions to exchange. Now, what exchange? They actually told you here: value exchange platform. Okay, institutions to exchange in real time and at little to no cost. Currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and other tokens of value directly without relying to traditional intermediaries of international financial system. So here she talked about international financial system, and the transition team action which of treasury working on the international financial issues, coming up and discussing this, and understood that Fed can actually accommodate this, and that is literally happening. Then as we go down, the process is bilateral and instant. When a payment order is entered into the platform, liquidity providers linked to the platform compete to provide the best exchange rate. So how many exchanges are now there? It's a lot. So the competition is high. So that means the best value. So Ripple is always providing the best value for its customers. Now, as the document is a bit old, it shows that Ripple has around 100 banks and financial institutions. Now we know that that's a lot more than what we have now, right? Now, in this document, we'll actually jump into page number 69. That's the next one. Here they first actually talk about Swift, right? And how they are trying to actually come on top of this. They are trying to, leverage something, because not at least to avoid being ultimately outpaced by startups such as Ripple that are leveraging technology to provide alternative to Swift. So they also need to actually come up, do something. And then in a recent update, I actually saw that they actually come up with BPI product. Now, when we actually see this one, don't be confused. Swift is a messaging platform. They came up with a blockchain technology based solution for messaging, not for settlements. You have to actually understand that, because blockchain, you can actually build it with a native cryptocurrency or without that. So don't get confused there. Beyond the question of Nostro account reconciliation, a frenzy of activity is surrounding the use of blockchain to streamline banks' activities, including cross-border payments. So who is highlighting this? The World Trade Organization. And about what? Payments, cross-border payments. And who are they highlighting here? Ripple is coming there, right? So that is not something you can actually neglect it easily. Now, when you actually come down, various consortiums have been formed, and who they are highlighting R3 here. And as followed, you can see which started back in 2015 with 9 financial companies. So the details are actually coming in. So now you have R3 there. So then they talk about the technology of settlements, which is Coda Settler there. So now you have payments, settlements, and they are highlighting Ripple, the company, as a value exchange platform, right? The value exchange platform. So they are actually talking about a new infrastructure. To get a hint about that, you can read this area. Blockchain technology will also need to mature and develop further to support a large global infrastructure. That is cited back to Swift. And you see, when they talk about 100 banks previously, back then, now the industry is maturing. Now the walk pace is kind of coming for some countries. Even the Brad Garlinghouse was actually showing like phases for blockchain technology and the evolution. I don't actually check. Yeah, while everyone else considers crawling, China is walking. So this is in the era of a central bank digital currency. So automatically, those who are here crawling now will even take a walker and start walking now, because that's it has to be in that way, because there is no other option for banks to do this in a better way. Now in the document, we'll actually jump into page number 110, and this is kind of a holy grail, because when you actually look at this, you'll understand when government central banks who kind of uses or takes in the advices from these organizations they'll first look at green, okay? Because it's actually considering the energy efficiency, transaction per second, average transaction time, cost included, everything. So in that aspect, you only have say Neo there and then Ripple there. Now for Neo, when you actually look at that, you can see few seconds there. Here it's 3.5 second. Now and at the same time, you actually understand that now it is 1500 transaction per second online, and then it can be scaled up to 65,000 transaction per second. And this is the only platform which allows the IOU transaction in any currency. And that is the reason why now banks are running into this system instead of any other, because currently they all operate on IOU. Once the banks are in the network, the nodes of networks is increased, the network effect kicks in, and then they can actually use the digital currency for payments, and then they can hold it. This was the intended plan of Ripple, the company, way back, say 2-3 years back, and now they are succeeding on that. Okay, now that's not it. Now when we actually move into page 135, we can actually see something more like this. They actually show different systems, how it is based on, and it comes back to Federated Byzantine Agreement, Ripple and Stellar again. So what did I told you? Ripple and Stellar cannot be neglected in the new payment system. The new infrastructure is being laid out. Yes, when even someone highlighted based on Simpsons, the cartoons which are kind of coming up true from them, like they are giving you the hint that this is going to be true. They actually show you cryptocurrency that makes someone rich. I mean, the Simpsons itself rich. So others can actually, others will not actually accept what is coming, right? Now, we are already here and we understand that the market is so huge. And previously, in one of our videos, we actually detailed DTCC. At that time, they were processing like 1.6 quadrillion dollars. And we actually played a video directly from their chief stating that. Now, the time just moved up, and this one the recent post actually shows DTCC managed over 2 quadrillion worth of securities last year. Now, eyes are on DLT, so the tokenization is here. So yeah, not thanks for nothing actually retweeting this. He didn't send me this; he retweeted that, and I saw that, and I really understood that that's changing, because when we connect that to this one, you will definitely understand how this is going to evolve. Because like that, say if securities market is going to be tokenized and it is going to be on a ledger which can actually take that much transaction per second, you just saw, right? Others can actually handle that, because if we actually jump back and say when we actually go back into page 69 and look at the comparison there, which they are literally using you can actually understand, like, it's not them how can be perceived, right? So say for example, Bitcoin Cash, it shows 9 to 10 minutes transaction per second is this, and the energy efficiency is low. And in the first video like this, that's why I told you, when you guys see things like these, believe me, you need something better. Now why I said that, you know it's literally based on facts. You can understand now, it is the truth and fact. Even without documents, you can actually understand that just by looking at the specification of each projects, right? Each blockchain technology. But some actually are like St. Thomas, they actually need to see the actual data, and that's why the Scientific Investor channel provides you with that. Because not everyone believes, say, what I think about, but they actually need to see the proof for that. That's why we are here to show that. Now, as I told, we actually see things evolving like this. The market is getting bigger and the target is getting even bigger. So at that time, Ben Mike actually shows you this. R3 does this for Nasdaq. Now, R3 as a back-end processing system for payments and settlements, they can actually do this using CODA, the settlements, security settlement. So one by one, if each huge exchanges are coming in, then that is the best partnerships we can ever get. And at the same time, if you're looking at the retail side, Macadac XRP shows this. XRP tweets are kind of hitting the all-time high after surging 14% in the price. Now, yes, once you get 10 to 20% or 14% rise, suddenly, say for example, when you were actually going down, there will be a lot of profit taking and the price will actually correct a little down back. Say most of the time, if it goes up 10%, it will come back down to 4%. See, it will erase 6% of that gains. Unless we are in a bull market, that will be like that. And when we enter into a bull market, say we go up 10%, then the correction will be like 2 to 3% or even 4%. We may even wick down to 5-6, but the closing of that candle will be around 2 to 3%. If you watched or analyzed the technicals, you'll understand what I'm actually talking about. Now, we just highlighted this one, right? Swift is actually coming up with the blockchain technology, and others can actually use this to create FUD. If someone else is coming after 1, 2, 3 days with FUD, I just neglect that, because this is just a messaging platform, and at the end of the day, they actually need the settlement. And that's what we're actually talking about. And even in that document from World Trade Organization, we showed you, right, Rippel operational from United States, and now it is there in all majority of the huge regions, and they are trying to expand into Asia Pacific and Middle East and Africa. So once they are into that, the phase 4, now these phase are actually for companies, are not for companies, it's for countries. And for the company Ripple, personally, I believe we are actually walking. Now we are going to transit into next phase, which is running, crawl, walk, and then run. So we are going to enter the phase of running, and at that time the price will also be running. And this one from crypto area actually gave me a lot of this info, because say just this one picture and her words, take a deep breath. I completely agree with her, and a lot of respect and shout out to crypto area. Now if you hold XRP, take a deep breath. If you are a BTC maxi, you will want to take a seat. Because when governmental level organizations are coming out and they are showing you documents like this, and you can actually analyze that and understand the future of this asset. In yesterday's video we talked about how you can recognize, or why you should recognize the future of this asset, because the potential of this asset is so huge. If you can understand that, you kind of becomes a fool in the entire scenario. Now, when she actually highlights this, say for example, EU IP or European Union Intellectual Property Office, and we actually go into their document. Now, this is a bit old one. They actually shows Bitcoin hinders anti-privacy efforts. So in this document, when we see this, you actually have to understand this is kind of full in red. So they will be looking for something full in green, because when governments or even a research institute is actually going up with one option, they will actually have to show what were the competitive options which they had, why they chose this particular thing, and compared to this one, what is the cost and benefit for you. So the cost benefit ratio should be there. As a company, they are doing business, everyone is doing business, even the government are actually doing this businesses, right? So in that aspect, when you see this, you have to actually understand privacy is huge, and anti-privacy coins can actually be neglected. So when they say this anti-piracy efforts and others, you actually have to understand when the government come in with the KYC, AML, the regulations are set for that. So as we actually talk about the new financial infrastructure, it won't be something like this, the shadow banking system, or the dark web system like that. It will be there for 1 or 2%, but for the majority, it won't be like that. Because now we can see that Zum banking app is actually pushing this one. So XRP checks will be integrated into banking application Zum. Now we know that just last week this was actually approved, and I mean June 20th it was actually shown like this. Say we talked about the XRP checks coming in. Now yes, based on your perspective, you will have a positive opinion about that or a negative one, but this is one step ahead. Can be a bit of debatable or argumentable area, but it actually shows there are infrastructure changes being done and update is occurring everywhere. After going through all of this, I hope you guys actually got something new from this. You guys discovered facts which actually will embrace your investment in XRP, say technically and fundamentally. Then please do hit that like button, because even after asking with the same with my family here, I saw like 10 percentage. It's just one video it went to 11%, and I was like, guys, I actually took 3 to 4 hours from my weekend, that is today Saturday here in South Korea, early morning from 4 o'clock, to do the research, find these make bullet points, and then present this to you guys. I think asking a like is too much, but at least some of you guys actually consider that as too much, because I see, say one video gets 10,000 views, 13,000 views, the likes is like 300, 400. One video gets 7,000 views, the likes is like 700. So 10% of guys always supports this channel, and I'm thankful for you guys, because you guys rock. Others say don't even want to click that like button. I don't even know why they don't actually want to do that. I'm not actually complaining, I'm just some days I feel like after putting 3 to 4 hours in this one, the scientific investor family doesn't actually appreciate these efforts. Some 10% of the entire family does support this channel, and these guys actually motivate me to do more and more every day, because the organic growth in, say, likes, comments, or growth of this channel is what I'm looking at. And yes, I'm trying to find out something to bring you guys more value for your time you spent here. Now yes, when I'm talking about this, the news for today is over. If you guys want to listen, you can continue, or you can just drop out. So again, if you guys found value in the content, please do hit that like button. That supports the channel a lot. Hope I didn't actually brought a negative sense after the information stating my personal opinion about the channel. And if you guys agree with that, again, please do hit that like button. And if you are new here, do hit that subscribe button. That also help the channel grow and to promote this news everywhere, so that majority of the XRP community members can actually understand these facts and concrete their foundation on the investment which they have already done. Because many are actually jumping the ship without knowing that these facts are existing. You just have to go there, read it first. You have to find it, then read it and understand it based on what are the other information which lay besides you. Anyway, so this video is ending here. Thank you for the support. If you haven't liked, click that like button yet. I request you guys hit that like button, and if you are new here, do hit that subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next one. Bye for now.